Have you ever been watching cable news? You see two politicians just tearing each other apart, and you just wonder, is any of this real? Is it all just an act? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this really fascinating idea that at the very highest levels of power, those bitter rivalries we see, they might just be for show. Okay, so this whole thing really starts with a pretty simple but really powerful contrast. It's the world we see on our screens versus the world that exists behind closed doors. In those exclusive circles of power. And this one quote, man, it just nails the entire concept. It suggests all that fiery rhetoric we hear is basically a performance. Meanwhile, the private reality is all about connection and, believe it or not, collaboration. It's a wild idea that really sets the stage for everything else. So on one side, you've got all the political theater we know and love, right? The shouting matches, the attack ads, the whole shebang. But on the other side, there's a totally different world, a world of mutual interests, shared social circles, and handshakes that happen far, far away from any camera. So how in the world does this dual reality even exist? Well, it points to this unofficial but incredibly powerful social structure that some people call the Great Big Club. Now, this isn't some secret society with a special handshake or anything like that. It's an informal network, really. It's bound together by wealth, by influence, and a shared social status. And inside this club, your political party is way, way less important than the simple fact that you're a member. And this all leads to a pretty blunt, maybe even cynical way of looking at it. This isn't really about left versus right, or conservative versus liberal. It's about a class of people who are basically operating under a completely different set of social and political rules, where their own unity often matters more than any public division. Okay, I know that might sound a little abstract, right? But there's this one shockingly concrete example that shows you exactly how this thing works in practice. It's what people call the 1-degree rule. So let's take two people who you'd think could not possibly be in the same universe. On one side, you have Steve Bannon, a populist nationalist. And on the complete other end of the spectrum, Noam Chomsky, a legendary intellectual and a fierce critic of the establishment. I mean, these guys are from different political planets, right? So think about it for a second. In terms of their social and professional networks, how many people do you think it would take to connect these two polar opposites? 6? 10? 20? What do you think? The answer is 1. Just 1. Yep, 1 degree of separation. It turns out they both have deep connections to the exact same people inside elite academic and financial circles. And this isn't some weird coincidence. It's a feature, not a bug. The networks at the very top are just so tight-knit that even sworn public enemies are practically neighbors. Okay, so if these people are all so closely connected, then what is with all the public fighting? Well, it really comes down to a certain way of thinking, a mindset that kind of underpins this entire system. To get this, think about sports. You know how friends can support rival teams? They'll trash talk each other on game day, get really into it, but on Monday they're back to being colleagues. Well, this is apparently how a lot of the elite view politics. It's a game with winners and losers, not some fundamental battle for the soul of the country. And the conclusion you're left with from all this is, well, it's pretty sobering. There's something satisfying about it because it helps make sense of all the weird contradictions we see. But it's also kind of sad, right? Because it suggests that all the passionate debates we see are just a performance. And the real game is being played somewhere else entirely. So what's the big takeaway here? Why does understanding this great big club even matter for the rest of us? And this is the most crucial point. While politics might feel like a sport for the players, the consequences are incredibly real for all of us, the spectators. Policy decisions, economic shifts, those things have a huge impact on the lives of everyday people who aren't insulated by all that wealth and influence. So we'll end with this question. The next time you see two politicians locked in what looks like a mortal battle on your screen, just ask yourself, is this a genuine conflict of ideals, or is it a performance? And if it is a performance, who's the real audience? It's a thought that might just change the way you see everything.